Drama ain't our thing normally, but sometimes you got to dabble in it a little bit, especially when it's hilarious. Now, Corey and I like to laugh. Everybody tells us we should laugh less. We should grow up. I got bad news for you. We are Toys R Us kids. We don't grow up, and we're not planning on it either. Because you know why? Laughter is good for the soul. Sometimes somebody need a laugh. When you take it to old folks' homes, what do you tell them to do? Laugh. Kindergarten, laugh. Why is it in the in-between range, nobody want to laugh no more? Well, guess what? We're about to laugh a lot today. Why? Well, you'll find out why. But at whose expense? Everybody's. And why can we do it? Because we can. Now, we've been telling people left and right, don't believe Jaguar Wright. She a liar. Liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. We've been telling y'all this. But no, we the ones that instigating stuff. We just dabbling in stuff that don't belong to us. With all kinds of reasons people tell us not to. We even tried to warn our enemies. Enemies, people like, Maggie, the owl, I think is her name, and the other one that looked like Rocky from The Mask. We tried to warn people about Jaguar, right? But they don't like to listen. We even tried to warn people about Allie. Nobody listened then either. Some of y'all got to learn the hard way. I know me growing up, I was a 2x4 kid. What did that mean? Well, I don't learn by people talking to me. I don't learn by the belt. Sometimes I got to get a 2x4 to listen. Well, I guess I'm not the only one in the world that like 2x4s because apparently Maggie loves her some 2x4s, and all the rest of them do too. We've been telling people Jaguar stabs people in the back. And we know how we learned it? 2x4. We will admit it. We will admit that we took a 2x4 and a knife. We took two things: 2x4 to the head, knife to the back, and then she turned around laughing at us. Then brought our families into it. And then people thought we overreacted. She didn't mean to say that. That's not what you meant. Y'all misread what she said. Okay, cool. I'm glad y'all think that. I want to hear the excuses you're going to give Maggie now. I mean, y'all were against us, right? All on Maggie's train. Maggie's the truth because she followed the truth. Even Jag, this is where it comes funny. This is where I'm going to let y'all into the joke. Here comes the punchline. Okay, the punchline is Jaguar Wright really believes that she is the algorithm of all things, and I don't know if she means just YouTube or if she mean like the algorithm overall, but she really believed it. She is the algorithm. I think she believes she's in the Matrix, that she must be the Oracle or something. Y'all ever seen the Matrix? When Neo went to see the Oracle, right? The Oracle, the only difference between Jag and the Oracle, I guess, would be that the Oracle knows what she's talking about, and the Oracle is really calm and collected. That's not Jag. But the Oracle, people go to her to get to know the future and get to know what's going on within the confines of the Matrix. I think Jaguar thinks that's what she is. But I think what Jaguar really is, if we were to make a Matrix reaction, she's Mr. Smith. She's there to try and break free of her so-called matrix, but she's the bad guy in the whole story. So I think she didn't watch the movie or read the books or anything like that. So she's not no algorithm, okay, at all. But she believes the stuff she says because I'm gonna say it. Jaguar's mentally off, bro. Like whatever happened to her in the music industry really flipped that table that's in her head. Pow! All the stuff that was on it, she didn't even bother dragging the tablecloth off the table. Poof! Whole thing's over. All the milk on the floor, everything. That's her brain. It's. Remember the commercials back in the day? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Remember when the eggs get scrambled? Jaguar Wright's brain right there. Who would have thought that a commercial would have been telling us the truth about certain people? But I digress. I can tell. I'm going to tell you all this something. I'm very excited about this topic because it's good to see. This me. I might think this is not very Christian of me, but I don't care. I love seeing people get what they have coming to them. Look, it wasn't like I just planned this. This is what you get when you follow people that ain't that smart and lie. You get you right. You're right. Okay, good. So Madgie found out the hard way. She had a life. And she brought up this non-straight individual who's been in our comment section before trying to, spark heat and get attraction to his channel and all that stuff. He's insignificant, although I will give him this credit. He knows how to troll, and he trolls very well. Like he's like, I don't envy gay people. I don't. There's nothing I envy about gay people. But I will give Donut his dues. If I could troll like him, I think I would have arrived at my master class of podcasting. I would. But I don't think I want to take his method to get there because it's very sassy. I'm not going to do that. However, he was trolling them so well that I think it's her husband or boyfriend or side dude. I don't know what Odell is anymore in this picture. I know he's not a male in the picture. He's just like there. Like she acts more masculine than him. So it must mean that he either has the tendency to act like Donut or he probably is one like Donut because he really sounds like he really don't like him, but he acts a lot like him. Even though they want to call us, gay, it seems to me that Odell acts more gay than anybody else I've met. Get what I'm saying? That says they're straight, that is. So anyway, he's on there talking. And he keeps telling Maggie to mute that dude, mute that dude.
Mute him now, Madgie. Mute him now.
Oh my Madgie,
you're showing your hand, Madgie.
Yeah, he
you want me to call you out? Mute him.
You like
And they're trying to demand from Maggie, because here's the problem. When you set yourself like Maggie did up in the camp of Jaguar, you have become her minion. And we've said this before. Y'all can remember. We told people Maggie's a minion. She kind of said, I'm not. I'm an independent thinker. No, you were a minion. You found out today that you're a minion. This boy tell you to shut up and shut that dude up and do what I tell you and blah, 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 blah. And then you don't do it. He storms off, and up comes the queen herself. Miss, I demand respect. Miss, I'm the elder. I am the algorithm. Hold on, let me bring on my best Jag impersonation here. I am the algorithm. I demand the respect. I can see why you're in the hospital. You probably got asthma or you smoke too much crack. I don't know which one it is, but you sound like you're sick. And I don't think it's just your body. I think it's definitely up in them heads. You need meds. They're not, I don't recommend medication for most people. But you, girl, you need meds. You have to be on something to regulate your emotions, because you go from docile and laughing to absolutely witch crazy in a blink. That's either bipolar or schizophrenia. So you either need counseling and heavy medication, or both. But you're definitely not getting either right now, and it's showing. So she gets on the panel. She goes after Maggie. And Maggie's sitting there just taking it. Now, by the end of the live, at least when Jag leaves, you can see visibly on Maggie's face that something ain't right. Like, this was like out of left field. What just happened? I get hit by a tornado.
I'm going back to bed. Girl, you sound sicker than a dog. I hope you get well. You watching YouTube. You think you finna come on YouTube and talk mess to me? Your blood pressure is finna go sky high. You better leave me alone and go.
And then she makes subsequent videos to follow up, to try and defend her position of why this fell apart, and I was never a minion, and y'all stop talking about me like that, and this is crazy how this happened. But you should have seen this coming, Madgie. You see this? Look, for the last 6 months, 5 months, we've been telling people there's something wrong. Something is wrong. The story don't add up. She lying. Especially, again, we took a 2x4 and a knife in the back to wake us up. We're awake now. We understand who Jaguar Wright is. A crazy, untalented, unworthy, pointless, useless human being that's seeking validation from anywhere she can get it. She's a narcissist, and when she can't get the validation from you, she's going to come after your throat. She's going to cut you down. She's going to burn you up. She's going to go after you because she's not getting what she wants. Even in her chat during her live after she left the room with Madgie. This is her on her own live. But that's why I got the I am the algorithm thing. She presented a survey to her fans. Type of 1 if you believe I'm the algorithm. Type of 2 if you don't believe I'm the algorithm. You give people the option to choose, right? You offer it, which means you should be okay with either response because you offer the responses, right? Good. Somebody say, no, number 2. You don't believe I'm the algorithm? Then what the you doing in my chat? Get them. And she went off on this person because they had the value that they didn't think that she was the algorithm. Girl, nobody thinks you're the algorithm. Everybody thinks you're an aggravation. That's what you are, an absolute aggravation. You are a useless tool in a bag of useless tools, but you are the most useless. But you want to believe that you are something that you're not. You are entertainment for the time. You know how to lie. The devil can be entertaining too, and so are you. The devil offers stuff that's entertaining for a moment, but everybody eventually sees the dark side of the devil, right? That's you. Everybody you touch turns to crap, dust. You destroy them. At least you try. You can't do that here, but you try. Your attempt at every turn is to turn people against people, and you come out trying to act like the victim. Oh, I'm sick. I'm in the hospital. I deserve respect because I left my hospital. You was never in the hospital. What hospital got a smoke detector going off? You see, you are the stereotypical Negro. You are. You in a house, and the smoke detector there needs battery changing, and neither you nor Odell are man enough to go and change it. How does anything in your house get fixed? Don't tell me you hire white people to do it. I'm betting you hire somebody white to come and do it for you. I don't think you've ever stepped on a ladder one day in your life. One, because you're afraid the ladder gonna break because of your weight, but secondarily, you don't know how to climb. You're too used to using people like crabs in a bucket to get where you're going. And when the people not giving in to you, what do? Light the bucket on fire, burn whoever's in there. You cannot really consider yourself the truth when all you do is lie. Now, to yourself, you might be the truth. Honestly, to yourself, you really believe you got something that people want, people need, people want to hear. And you know how to package stupidity. I will give you that. You are a grand packager of BS. You know how to do it. Mostly because you lived your whole life as BS. Any human being that could try and pass off what you did to your kids' ashes as sane or as you just don't understand, you got mental problems.
I also don't have to explain my religious practices to anybody as per the Constitution and the amendments. But if you really want to know what I did with those ashes, you should probably ask me everything that happened before, if you actually knew. Matter of fact, if any of you actually knew what I truly am, you wouldn't ask me stupid questions like that at all. And if you want to know how I know Beyonce is a witch, I'll say it as simple as this. It takes one to know one.
And if people talk about it, now all of a sudden they're the bad guy when you're the one that did you put it all in the public for people to see. If somebody else do something all in the public, you think you have the right to say something about it. But when it's you, whole different story, right? Narcissist. Absolute blaming narcissist. That's all you are. But then again, I can't expect you to see it because, like we said, you're a narcissist. They never see it. And even if they do see it, they have a reason for being that way. It's because of so, this, and that. Unfortunately for Madgie, or fortunately, she found out the hard way. You cannot make friends and defend to the nth degree somebody that vile. The good thing I can say about us is we didn't go out of our way to defend her to the nth degree. We didn't do that, and I'm glad we didn't get to that point before we got smacked in the back. I'm glad that didn't happen. However, I will say this about what has happened. It is a good thing, and this is why it's a good thing. The more people she does this to, the more obvious it will become to others that Jaguar Wright is a worthless human being. And the more people that realize that, the less will listen to her. And the less people that listen to her, the less relevant she'll become. And the less relevant she'll become, the quicker she can disappear. She came on the scene hot and heavy with stuff that everybody thought they had not heard. And somebody on the inside is telling and spilling all the beans. And all of a sudden, certain things started happening. And she must have been telling the truth. Oh my gosh, she knows all the stuff. What if she knew all the stuff because she was part of it? Y'all ever stop to think about it? That the only reason she knows what she knows is because she was doing it too? Everybody wants to think that a whistleblower is always the one that comes forward after just witnessing something. There are tons of whistleblowers that come forward after having participated in it and say, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I'm coming to talk. There are some that do that. There are some that come forward as a whistleblower because they've been doing it and they don't want to get associated with the people when they get caught. So they say, no, I'm a whistleblower. Meanwhile, you were one of the instigators in it, kind of like Jaguar Wright. Multiple times she talked about trafficking people.
I made a mistake again. Well, no, because see, big homie CC was supposed to be going to extract that person for me because an attempt had just been made on their life. And every time I kept asking him when he was going to be able to get in to get this person, it was, well, we got to talk about the business and I need you to film this with me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I understand it. I don't have no problem with it. But we can work together once I get this person out. And that was the only thing that I asked big homie CC for.
She said, not us. She said that she's had women go do this for her and she'd had women do this for her and it was about money. And she has said this, which tells me that she is a trafficker. So if she's a trafficker and she wants to talk about trafficking, people are going to think, well, it's because she has inside knowledge. How do you get inside knowledge like that? Oh, wait, because you do it. But if you package it just right, which I have to give Jagger credit, she knows how to package. If you package it right, people will consider what you're telling them as like, wow, she is exposing. No, she's not. No, she's not. She's just telling you out her own mouth that she was a part of it. But people are too slow, kind of like Madgie was, too stupid to understand that this is her telling you, I am part of the whole thing, but I don't want you to associate me with it because I'm telling you about it. You see how this doesn't look, I'm trying my best not to use certain terms about the lady. See, I just used lady, and she's not one. I'm trying my best not to use certain terms about her. But she makes it very difficult for me not to like really go on a tirade of insults because trust and believe me, the material there is endless. If I were to dig into my bag that I used to have, like Santa Claus, it would be a bottomless wealth of stuff we can dredge up and throw at the wall. And trust me, every last bit of them would stick. There is lots of source material there. But since I'm trying to turn a new leaf, and I'm not saying that my leaf is going to not rot, I'm just saying it's a new leaf. I'm saying I'm trying to turn a new leaf. Corey's been helping me with that too. Like he's a good help of how to navigate the fields of not going straight for the throat. Sometimes you got to little paper cuts do worse than just go, ending the whole show. So in my efforts to attempt that, I will say it like this. It is way easier to believe a lie than it is to believe the truth, especially when the lie is packaged like the truth. Jaguar knows this because of who her papa is. The devil ain't, stupid. He knows how to make the lie palpable, tasty, yummy, appealing, sexy, cool. He knows how to do that. Now, none of the last the one, that sexy thing, Jag's still working on that. I don't know. I don't think she'll get to that point yet, but she's working on it, I guess. I mean, not physically, but she's trying. The devil knows how to make that. He does. He knows how to package something to make you like it, want it, participate in it. Even if it's a lie, but he knows how to make you believe the lie. He sprinkles in some truth in there, some names, which is why you see Jaguar sprinkle the kinds of names that she does. You probably want to know how she knew something was going to happen. The same way a whistleblower on a cartel member will know what's coming down the pike. They were part of it. It's that simple. You would know because you were in it. The same thing when we tell people that Tory is the same way. Like she'll tell you that there are cartons out there or containers of kids. Can't tell you where they are. But she can tell you a whole bunch of other stuff that is already easy. You can find looking on the internet. But people, because of how she delivers it, they believe it. Like it's brand new, brand spanking new. I've never heard that before. There have been problems in Hollywood since Shirley Temple, for crying out loud. So don't say you didn't know. Okay, please don't act like you say, this is brand new information. You may not know to the extent of what somebody has done, but trust and believe this is not like groundbreaking information. Okay, we've been covering this stuff. For 4 years now, we've been covering this stuff. It's been in the public light. Jaguar is just a better deliverer of certain things because she has no moral compass and she can lie bold-faced to you and not care. It doesn't bother her conscience. In her, there is no gray area of right and wrong. She's always wrong, but she knows how to project right. I hope people understand this now. For too long, we've taken this kind of nonsense because it is what we call sensational. We all want to hear of some big name that's going down because it confirms something that we think we believe. In this case, unfortunate or fortunate for people like Madgie, the scales have fallen off her eyes. She now sees what people have been talking about. Now, we kind of predicted this was coming. We said it was going to eventually happen because just like Jag does, Jag will do what Jag does, which is burn bridges, stab people in the back, sometimes probably even off them, which is what Odell alluded to, by the way. In the conversation he had with Maggie, he said, I'm going to holler at you. He said, I'm going to holler at you. She said, okay, well, holler at me. And then before he left, he said, no, I'm going to holler at you in person.
All right, that's all that's gonna happen. Word, I'm aware. And I got business to handle. Okay. Madgie, for real, I'm hollering at you in person.
Don't worry, we are gonna holler.
Now, y'all can say what you want about how threats are delivered. You might think a threat is one way and another way, and this might not be a threat. But let me ask you a serious question, and you can tell me how you would take this. If for some reason I'm on screen here, and somebody drops a comment that I didn't like, and you see me get on camera and I say, look at this person. I wonder what would happen if I showed up at their house and come holler at them. Would you take that as I'm going to come and shake your hand? I'm going to come and invite you out to coffee. We're going to have dinner, sit down, have a conversation. Are you going to really take it like that? I highly doubt that's what you're going to say to yourself. Like, Too Strong said they would pull up. I'm sure they just mean they'll drive their car to my house, come out, knock on my door, say, "Hey, how you doing? We're too strong. We would like to invite you to a meeting if you don't mind at Denny's. We're going to have dinner and have a conversation about the comment you think that's what's going to happen? That's what you believe. You believe that Odell would call up on screen and say, "I'm going to holler at you in person because you getting out of pocket. I'm going to holler at you in person," is a positive thing? This man is issuing a threat to a lady because she didn't mute somebody on her show. Why did he feel free to do that? Because in Jaguar's mind, the power she has over people is only by her demand, and she directs it, and it's all about her. She even said that on her own live, by the way. She allows these people to have the platform they have because she is the algorithm. They can't do anything without her. See, in Jag's mind, she's a god. That might explain the whole necklace crap. She's a god. You can't do anything without her. She is the truth. She is the algorithm. She is the elder. She is everything. I wonder if she was the one that wrote Will Smith's song. I am Judas. I am Jesus. I'm the truth. I'm the Bible. I'm the Quran. She's everything. I ain't never seen. Oh, that might explain everything to me now. If the truth is that Jaguar is everything, it makes sense that she's that big. And I don't mean in popularity. I mean in shape. And yes, I'm insulting her personally. Why? Because people have to get the point across somehow. Here's the point. A lie is a lie is a lie, no matter how sweet you try and make it. There are victims out there that Jaguar Wright is deterring from getting justice with her stupidity and lies. This is far more than just internet beef and drama, people. She was just given a so-called medal for her truth telling, for crying out loud. What does that tell us about the state of affairs when people that blatantly lie get an award for truth telling? And what happens to people that are actually seeking justice when a liar, branded a truth teller, is given more airtime than their story? What will actually happen to the people who are guilty of doing something when they go free because idiots like Jaguar Wright come out with the most asinine stories, making it difficult for the actual victims to get to where they need to get to, and these perpetrators walk free? Where have we gone to where we have allowed that to become entertainment now? Maybe, just maybe, I can make it a little more clear, even more than that, because I know I have a problem sometimes. And even when I talk to my family and my kids, it's almost like I'm not speaking English. So I'll have to make sure I articulate this properly, because I know what I think sometimes doesn't come out right. That has nothing to do with the way the people are listening. It has everything to do with how I deliver it. So I'm going to say it like this. The biggest issue in all of this is that we have come to a place where the lie is more important than the truth. And I mean the factual truth. And the unfortunate reality is that the one at the helm of it right now in this time period online is Jaguar Wright, because she does genuinely believe that she controls the narrative when it comes to certain things and certain issues in entertainment that happen. The problem is she doesn't control it at all. She doesn't. But she believes it. And she believes it so wholeheartedly that she will make people also believe it, and that will become the norm. Now, if she's going to go talk about actual people that have damaged her or even another victim, and it doesn't turn out to be true, and she tries to bring cases against these people, and the cases fall apart, what does it actually mean for people who have gone through true abuse when they bring cases? Everything now becomes fallacious. It will be that way, especially if they said, well, Jaguar Wright, instant loss. She is making it extremely difficult for the true victims in this day and age to get anywhere in the legal sphere at all. The same thing goes for Ali Carter. They both are at the helm of something so dangerous that we know for a fact accounts for nearly 400,000 children going missing every year just in the United States, and nearly 70,000 women going missing. I want you to put this into perspective for a second. Forget the celebrity and forget all the fanfare for just 1 minute. On the low end, 70,000 women either go missing or turn up dead every year in the United States alone due to trafficking. 400,000 children a year trafficking. And here we have two morons on screen celebritizing everything and making it about 1, 2, or 3 individuals that may have gone after maybe 15 people at most. And not only are they doing that, but all their stories are lies. And not a single event will ever be brought to a court case to see justice for these people, so-called people. In the meantime, the rest of America is distracted with this idiocracy, and they're just going after it and saying, yeah, man, wow, she's telling so much truth, algorithm, and so on and so forth. Not a single child will be rescued under her auspices. Not a single female will be rescued because she's too busy trafficking women herself. This is where we are now. We are at a juncture where morality is put in park and we don't really care. We have no desire to change it. We don't want to change it. Because if we change it, then entertainment goes away. If entertainment goes away, what do we have left? We're just going to be bored. Oh, the truth is boring, huh? The truth is boring. Here's the truth for you. She is no algorithm. She's not the truth. She's not all that. She's mentally gone. She has some serious issues she needs to address. She is spiritually lost, and her so-called boyfriend, husband, whatever it is, has no spine. But they all are working in one conglomerate to do one very important thing, and that's distract the American population from what's actually going on in the background, in the canals, in the street corners, in the bushes, ports of entry, camps. They're making sure that nobody really focuses on that because it's not sensational enough. Hundreds of stories going on around the country right now, not getting any real attention because nobody wants to hear it because it's too real. It's too true. It's not sensational enough to be the headline, but it is more true than the headline. And we just eat up the headline. It's just so wonderful. Oh, Jay-Z's going down. Let me ask you a question. How many people do you believe that Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and anyone else of those high-ranking people could have trafficked in 1 year? Just name me. You really believe that those two people are at the helm of every disappearance across America? No. In fact, the majority of things that are happening are not at the celebrity level. There are faces of it, for sure. The majority of stuff happens on just little tributaries, cities, towns, countryside, 1 or 2 mayors, a governor here, politician there. Celebrities, just a face. They have their little circles that they function in. Jaguar just happened to be in one of the circles that they didn't want her in. Nobody wanted her. Nobody wanted Jaguar Wright in the circle, and she wanted so bad to be in there that she thought to herself, if I could just find a way to stay relevant, maybe, just maybe, I might find my way back to the top where I wanted to be in the first place. Unfortunately, it's not working for her because her narcissism will not allow the truth to prevail. Because if she had come forward and said, man, this music industry really messed me up, even to the tune of MK Ultra and all that crap, I have no desire to even remotely get back in there, and I'm going to get myself right before I say anything. She never did that. You can obviously tell that something has happened in her realm, either by her own doing, someone else's doing, or by a thought process she had that would take place that didn't, disappointment set in, and then psychosis did. Either way, the mind isn't functioning. But instead of getting help, she's using, because she has a narcissistic personality, her trauma to inflict overall trauma on the public to try and share it with them. And if you disagree with it, you get lambasted. If you find a little discrepancy in the story, you don't love the truth. You can point out statements where she's lying, blatantly lying, walking back her story, and she'll tell you to your face that that didn't happen. She will tell you that she was responsible for trying to extract and get women to work for her, then tell you that's not true. But she's on record saying it. It's AI. Regular-minded people don't do this, people. This is a mental problem, like a big mental problem. And here we are glorifying it by giving it views. Not the exposure of it, mind you, the enjoyment of it. So let's say that Jag is a victim and it caused this psychosis. You are now glorifying a victim's abuse and the result therein for views. You are now becoming the exact same thing that she says she's exposing. Don't you find that at least a little disturbing? That you have become the predator? All the followers of Jaguar are now predators. You are following, encouraging, creating more chaos in the mind of an already disturbed individual by giving them credence in something that isn't true. You do that with a child, and they call that abuse, mental abuse. You do that with your spouse, it's called abuse. But somehow, when you do it with a YouTube audience, you are the algorithm. This is far-reaching complications to it and implications to it, and nobody seems to want to address the elephant in the room. Now, I'll address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that we have become vacuums and suctions and black holes for entertainment. And it doesn't matter if it's true. It just has to be salacious enough to pass the litmus test. The same thing with Allie, why she won't mention regular names of the people that she says even ended someone's life, a child. The reason she won't name a name, because no one will know the name. But they know a lot of big names. They know Tupac. They know Diddy. It sells. The same way you can't watch on your phone even 5-10 minutes before a commercial comes up for some game. And the way they sell the game is through what? Sexuality. Some scantily clad lady, some funky looking woman, and all of the time they're trying to sell you just a regular game. But they know what your mind will gravitate to remember, and you'll probably want to just click on it just for, curiosity's sake. You just bit the hook. This is how the algorithm is using you. And I mean her, since she wants to call herself that, let's brand her the algorithm. The algorithm plants in your mind that this is plausible. And you knew it's plausible because people go missing every year, and so do children. So you already have a nice flat base to work on. She knows this. The majority of people believe that the people with money can accomplish this. She also knows that. Now, having been on the inside, now she can bring what little information she does have and how she did stuff as though other people are doing it. And now you have a third layer of more believability. Now, if she tells you, yes, I was even a victim, now you just put the cherry on top. Bam!
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
Now he must protect Jag at all costs. And then she will come telling you, I need protection. But don't worry, I don't really need protection because I'm strong. You can't do anything without me. This is exactly how people who abuse their spouse keep the spouse in the relationship. They make them believe that they can't do without them, but they also present themselves as the shoulder you can cry on. This is how they initially get you. I'm the shoulder you can cry on. I'm here for you. I understand what you're going through. In fact, I not only understand what you're going through, I've kind of been through that myself. So now you can use me as your not. But if you ever talk to anybody else about this, we might have some problems. But don't forget, I'm your person. So the instant you start to step out and talk to somebody else, not even in a relationship type way, but to get stuff off your chest, there's a problem now because you're not using me. I'm the one that understands. You can't do anything without me now. The instant you step out, I'm going to lose my mind on you and I'm going to leave you. You don't want me to do that, do you? You don't understand who I am? This is exactly how abusive relationships work. And oddly enough, this is exactly how Jaguar Wright treats all of her, not just audience, but the people affiliated with it, which is why they keep running and falling away, because when they stop listening, they're no longer useful. If this teaches us anything, it should teach us one thing about humanity and humankind. is that for all intents and purposes, while we might say we are interested in saving the kids and saving this and saving that, we are more interested in how sensationalized it is before we get to the saving of the kids. It could be just a petition to save children. Nobody signs it. It could be just an actual small town issue of somebody being kidnapped, and we know who the perpetrator is. We're trying to get the word out to find him. Nobody picks up that. But mention that it was some high-ranking official, some celebrity, and it's everywhere. Because the reality is, majority do not care about the victim. They only care about the victim if the perpetrator is known. Celebrity, big name, somebody worth talking about. Jaguar knows this. Hence why the only people she ever talks about, same with Tori, is all the known people. You don't see this lady talking about actual events that happen with this person going missing and that. She says she has all these resources. Even her little the crusty boyfriend talks about how much resources he got. He got this private investigator and this lawyer here and that lawyer. What you doing for little kids that go missing? You have all these resources. You ain't doing nothing for all them children? All the kids you know about, you're not putting none of your money behind that? No, you rather sue somebody online for talking about your halfway house girlfriend. That's where you're putting your money. You want to come online and talk about what you're going to do to this person for talking about my girl and talking about me. It's about you. It's never been about the victim. It's never been about the people being trafficked. It's never been about the people being abused. It's always been about them. Every time it's been about them. Every time she goes live, it's about her. It's never been about the actual victims in their story. They can't tell you a name. They can't tell you an event. They can't tell you nothing. For some reason, that's covert information. But the money flowing between Diddy and Puffy and all them people, they can tell you openly about that. Bro, you can find that stuff in a FOIA request. What are you talking about? You don't have nothing new. You don't got information that nobody can find. You just happen to know how to use Google better than most kids. Big whoop. Your fingers work. Oh, wow. Half your brain doesn't, but at least the internet's there to save you. And there are still people that listen to this thing and believe it's somehow the truth. The word says it. In the last day, you know what people are going to do? They're going to exchange a truth for a lie and a lie for a truth. They're going to do it. I don't know if we're in the last days, but for crying out loud, it sure feels like every day that passes, that particular statement becomes more and more true. Jaguar is something. I will give her that. And you know what it is? A whole lie. Everything that lady does depends on lying. The next thing out of her mouth has to be a lie. At this point, she don't even need food. Her entire diet is lies. And if she doesn't have lies, at least she has rage, because she knows how to do that too. She knows how to threaten people without threatening them, because she uses a certain demeanor when talking to them. It'll work on some people. It won't work on mature-minded people, but it works on some people. And she knows that. Because the majority of people that follow her will only kowtow, especially when she loses her cool. Calm down, Jag. There's no need to get to that point. We're sorry. We're sorry that people have done this to you. We're so sorry. Her whole comment section when she loses her mind is like that. And she knows this is what she'll get. She'll get the placating. She'll get the soft speak to try and calm her down. And then she'll put on the act that it worked, and thereby bringing them even closer to her so she can lose her shit on them the next time too. This is how she functions. And it's a perpetual cycle because people buy into it. We're not going to be able to convince everybody. We understand that. This conversation that we're having now, maybe 2%, maybe 3%. Might change her mind, but it's still 2 to 3% less than she had before. And for all we know, the 2 or 3% might have known another 5% that may not listen to us, but might listen to them. So now we've gone from 3 to 7%. The goal here is to have people analyze who's speaking. And heck, do that with us too. We've encouraged people. If we lying, prove to us we're lying. We even do that live. We will talk to people live. This is what we say. That ain't true. Come tell us what is truth. Google it. We're asking you. You said you know. You have the opportunity right now in front of thousands to tell us that we are wrong. Proving it. You going to tell us to Google it? Well, we Googled, and this is what we believe. So now what? We've been asking people to do that. We're just asking you to do the same thing with Jaguar Wright. Just because she can open her mouth and make you believe something because of how she delivers it doesn't mean what she's delivering is real. The only way you can find out is to park the connection that she's created with you, that addictive quality that she's instilled in you, that vice grip that she's planted. You need to release that for just a second and analyze something. How is it with all this information, not a single soul has been brought to the kinds of justice that you have heard her talk about to this point? The kinds of things that she's mentioning, this is not just, a couple of days in jail or probation. The issue she's talking about should easily land somebody on life to probably even death row. Can you imagine if she has tangible proof that Jay-Z was responsible for using a box cutter to cut under her arm? She says she has proof of this. That's what she said. You trying to tell me that you have proof of that, and to this day, you haven't brought that information to get Jay-Z removed from the public sphere? You're telling me that you have proof that 3 to 5 women were trafficked by them, and you have no way of bringing that to court? Your proof? You're telling me you went to Epstein Island to rescue women and you can't tell us who they were, and those women haven't come forward to say, these are the names of the people I saw on Epstein Island? Without the list, we don't even need the list at this point. We wouldn't even need the Epstein list from the government because Jaguar Wright knows people that were there and she rescued them by swimming there. Do you understand how stupid this is now? That you have tangible witnesses, human beings, not paper that can be messed with. They were there, which means they saw faces, they know names, they know times, they know events. And none of them you've brought to the court. None of them you've brought to the public light. Not a single one of them can tell you who to bring down an entire network that Jeffrey Epstein has set up. You couldn't do that, but you tell the truth. Right? You tell the truth. You are the algorithm. You're the elder. You demand respect. Even when you're sick, you demand respect. Sound like a COPD joker. No, you don't demand respect from nobody, and you don't deserve respect from nobody because you're a liar. You're a blatant, unequivocated liar. Not an ounce of truth to anything you say, and you have no desire to save anybody from anything. You're creating more victims. You're prepping your load to be the next person in line to do the exact same thing that you say you're trying to expose. That's you. Because if any of the stuff you said were actual reality and fact, all of the elites would be in prison right now. For all that award getting that you got, pointless. None of it made sense, and it never will. We can only wake a few of you up. We may not be able to wake all. But for those of you that are waking up, we're happy about it. For the rest of you, we'll always revert to this statement when it comes to that particular idea. Wake up before you go to sleep.